Hi guys, Ronda Winstead here. Oh, how have you been? It's been a week since we've chatted. Just want to catch you up on how my week's been, and you can catch me up on what's been going on for you. Okay, so today what we're doing is something super simple, super cheap, super fun. The 3S's. Whatever. I'm so glad to be back here with you guys. Okay, so let me show you the idea that I had. So I have been racking my brain and my brain's not that like smart or big or anything like that. So racking my brain is hard work. But I've been trying to think of something that didn't involve sewing, stitching, because I know I've been focusing on a lot of those videos recently, and I've been just really feeling for those of you, my subbies, that don't sew or don't have a machine, and it's like, I've got to find something, I've got to do something that's fun for my other subbies so they don't feel left out. So, and of course, anything that we glue can also be for those of us that sew as well. So this is for everybody, guys. And it's super simple. All right, let me just show you what I'm doing here. This says Rose. This is going to a very sweet lady, actually tomorrow. And as you can see, I have decorated an envelope, and I've just wrapped some baker's twine around it like this. You can pick them up in most craft or fabric store too. And I have used some Mod Podge to embellish the envelope just a little bit, and I'm going to show you how to do this. What I want to do, let's open it up. I want to show you guys what we're going to make. Yay! Drum roll. All right. Well, the sticker maybe comes off. You know what? I shouldn't have tried to attach this. So, but I'll glue it back down. I will glue it back down. She'll never know. And I know she does not watch these videos. All right. So what I have done is I have taken an ordinary Christmas card. In fact, I have been able to pick these up after Christmas or before Christmas in certain stores for like $2 for a box of 12 to maybe 16 or so. And they're not, they don't have like a ton of anything on them, but that's okay for this project. So if you open up the card, I have a little note that I wrote for me and another lady. We're going to visit someone. And I have covered, I found on Pinterest, I believe it was, I found something that I just really loved that's a Christmas saying. And I focus, on more the religious part for my own Christmas. I love it all, of course. But for the cards, I wanted to do that. And then you close the card, you turn it over. Oh! Drum roll, please. And we have a Glassine bag that has goodies inside. All right, let's see. Hopefully I didn't. Oh, guys, you know what I did? This is the one that I wasn't going to open. That is why I have secured it down so well. I have another one that I didn't secure down, but I'm going to show you this anyway. I mean, look at this. We have done Mod Podge on a glassine bag like this, and I have filled it with just some fun goodies, and then I have attached it to the back of this card. So it makes a fabulous, fun, simple, fun gift. All right, let's just work with this. Okay. Inside we have Swiss mix and, oh, 3 mini Kit Kats. Is that just so fun? So, we are going to make one of these, and I will give you the dimensions that I'm working with so you can look for that. And you may have cards like this already that would work perfectly. Now, as you can see, I have folded like the packet of hot cocoa to accommodate, you know, my container. All right. So then we will just, let me see if I can put this back together so Rose never knows. Rose never knows. She is an amazing older lady that my friend and I just love to go visit because she's so perky and spunky and just, oh, she's amazing. All right. So we'll put that back down. Like nobody ever touched it. Now, the important thing, one of the important things is, if you want this to be kind of a surprise, you gotta put it in the right way so that when they open it up, they see the card. And then, you know, you give them the extra. So I'm going to add just a tad bit of glue to this to make that go back down. Okay. Put that down, and then we will put that back down. All right, Miss Rose will never know. And then afterwards, I'm not going to do it now, but I will, of course, tie this back on there. All right. Well, here is the other one. I'll just, oh, well, okay. Well, isn't that fun? I have to tell you guys, this was really quite a funny coming together here. I'm going to show you, just so you recognize and realize that I make just as many mistakes as the next person. And see, look, I put this in the wrong way. That's my first mistake. Well, it isn't my first mistake. I've made a ton. So, this is the one that I was going to show you. Now, this one has 2 hot cocoa mixes in it. So you can, the idea is to find something flat-ish so that it'll still fit in your envelope. All right? Okay, so we're gonna just set this aside. We'll let this one join with these little extra, well, aren't those just happy? So, have to tell you. So as I'm doing these, I'm thinking, okay, I had the idea, and I feel like it was just totally inspired. It's like, oh, this is just so cool. I just got to do this. And the first one that I did, I had completely forgotten how I did it. I'll show you the product just so you can have a laugh with me. And then what I did was I went to my video, one of my videos on doing this to teach myself how I did it. So they are good for more than just, you know, the normal whatever. Now, where did I put that mistake? I don't think I threw it away yet. Okay, no. Okay. Isn't this lovely? I don't know what to say, except it didn't work. So that was the first one. And then I have to show you my next little blooper. I don't have to show you, but I'm going to. So then when I did this one, the image came out here, and instead of doing this along the edge, I said to myself, hey self, let's get the ruler. And of course I didn't have this underneath me, it was just directly on the mat. And I put this alongside and I said, okay, I'm going to use, you know, my rotary cutter, and I'm just going to trim that along the side so that it doesn't interfere and I don't cut that open, so that'll be fine. And what did I do? I opened it up. It was cut open. So, as you can see, I have taped this together. And if you look real closely, you could probably see where it separates. But you know what? This is not as bad. I'm so sorry. Okay. So, I'm going to use this anyway. All right. So, these are to make fun, simple, sweet little gifts. Neighbors, it doesn't matter. And of course, you don't have to put like hot cocoa or little Kit Kat candy bars or anything. You can do anything that you want with this. It does need to be flat-ish. I wouldn't have it more than 3/8 to a 1/2 inch high if you're going to try to put it in your envelope, unless you make your envelopes and do them bigger, because if you have them with your cards, they're going to be snugger. Okay, so I promised you that I would give you the dimensions, so let me measure the cards. Let me move all this stuff out of the way for just a sec. All right, so these cards that I found are 7 inches by 5, 7 by 5 by 7. Just a nice standard size. And the envelope is 7 and not quite 1/8, and 5 and 1/8. So as you can see, it's a pretty snug fit. So you want to have that keep that in mind when you're doing your goodies for the bag. Now, the bag. And I carry these in my store, my Etsy shop, and the links will be below in the description. But these are, I have one somewhere that has the sizes written on it. Got a little bit of a mess here now. Well, okay. I'll go ahead and measure those again. They are listed as medium tall in my shop, and this is as 7 1/8, and that's with the flap up. and this is 4 3/4 wide, and they are a perfect size for the 5x7 cards because they fit. Let me grab one again. They just fit so nicely. See, it covers up most of the card, but then you know, so it's perfect. Okay, so those are the sizes that I'm working with. I do carry different size glassine bags in my shop. So depending on what cards you come up with or that you have, you might be able to find one that would fit for your purposes, or perhaps you already have them or have another source for them, and that's perfectly fine. But I just wanted to let you know that that is something that I do carry. And yeah, okay. So you do whatever you're going to do to your card. Yes, no, and maybe you don't even want to put something extra there. That's perfectly fine. Whatever you want to do. But the whole idea of this video is for you to have something that you can do that's just simple, that's a no-brainer, that you can just kind of relax with and have fun with. All right, so let's decorate. Let's decorate a glassine bag. So I am using Mod Podge on mine, and I have freezer paper underneath me with the shiny side up to catch drips. I have a wet cloth to wipe down the extra Mod Podge because I don't want it all over everything. And then so here's the Mod Podge, and you know, it can be whatever type of collaging medium that you want to use, but I use this as the glue. I put it on the image or on the bag, depending on what I'm working with. You're going to need something like this. You're going to need a brush and water and a wet rag, and then of course your glassine. And then you're also going to need some either music paper or something of that nature that you can use as a fun background. You can collage if you'd like, but the more that you do, the less simple it becomes. So I have, for this purpose, I've just taken from an old hymnal, and I found this in a thrift shop, and it wasn't very expensive, and I actually ended up with a couple of copies, and so I've just been taking these out. Let's remove another one here, and we will prepare this. And these are, well, let's see, let me tell you the dimensions. Well, it doesn't matter, does it? Because what matters is the bag, the dimensions of your bag. So, sorry, ignore me. So first thing I'm going to do, and I would recommend if you have a tear ruler or decal, something with a decal edge, they're so nice. They're just kind of a fun Christmassy sort of thing to do. So I am just taking off my outside edges, ripping those with my decal ruler. And I'm using the soft decal, not the real jaggedy one. And I know the size that I'm needing because I've been working with these today. So otherwise I would be measuring a little bit before I do this. So now what I'll do here is I'll put my glassine bag down. This fits nicely on top. And I want it to come just kind of to the top there, but not go over. And this will be nice to use on another collage piece. Okay, so here we go. I've got this ready to go. You can also use ink to go around your edges. You can, at this point, if you wish, you can ink around the edges. I just used my little sponge dauber. I love these. And you can see, I gotta show you guys this. Let me pull out, oh, sorry. I have a metal cabinet here right by my desk. And I have a whole set of these sponge dauber guys. And I want to show you. This is what I bought. I think I bought this in Hobby Lobby, this set. Now look at the difference of when it's new and, let's see, how do I do this? When I've used it for a while. Do you see how tiny that is? And that's because I keep trimming it. When it gets these little rough things around, I just kind of trim that off. And then I keep using it. And I'll use this till it's dead. Till it is dead. And then I'll get a new one out and, you know, start again. So there's just a fun little tip for you in case you are interested in that. Okay, so we'll set those off to the side. So you can edge around, ink that, and that will give you a fun, it just looks pretty around the edges. Or you can just glue this on, and then when this is dry, you can edge around the glassine bag and this at the same time. And to save time, that's what I'm doing. So something that is of this stability and texture, I will go ahead, let's see, I'll pick which side. Really doesn't matter, they both look good. Maybe this for the front. So then I'm going to go ahead and put my Mod Podge on and get my brush in here. And this, it's actually quite thick. Probably going to have to thin this down a bit, but I'm not going to worry about that right now. So I'm going to cover the whole page with the medium. And then I'm going to place this on the bag. On the bag. And you see why I'm using the freezer paper, because I want to be able to have it on the very edges, and that means kind of brushing it over the paper and off to the, you know, off onto the freezer paper. Okay, and let's see, let me do this first. I'm gonna set that off to the side. I'm going to wipe that down. I'll bring this back. And then I will carefully, try carefully placing this down. Okay. Now what you can do at this point is you can go ahead, I've got Mod Podge stuck to my fingers. Okay, just have to wash up when I'm done here. So I can go ahead at this point, I can let this dry, and then I can go ahead and put my napkin, whatever image I have chosen, to put on here. If this is not terribly wet, which this really isn't, this isn't too bad, and because of time constraints and my wanting to get this video produced, I'm going to go ahead and move forward and put the napkin part on there to show you how I do it. And I will also link the how-to. I found it very helpful to watch my video. Oh, can you say senior moment times 10? Let's see, where was I? I'm just losing track. Oh, that just makes me chuckle every time I think about it. So what I've done is I have taken apart the napkins and I have gone around them. And I show you in detail how I do that on the other videos. But I will show you on one again, just for those of you that haven't seen it or, you know, that don't want to go back and view it. But you see these flaky or these feathered edges, they really make it, the napkin, blend nicely into whatever background I have on here. It's better to have a torn edge than a straight edge. A straight edge stands out, it looks kind of stark. But when you do it feathered this way, then it just sort of blends into the background and it looks really pretty. Okay, what you don't want to do, ladies and gentlemen, whoever's watching this, you do not want to put the medium to the back of your tissue paper. And that is because this is so fine and so thin, when you try to turn it around, it will be stuck here and it will be a mess and it will be difficult, you know, to do. So for the napkin part, I want to put my medium, my glue factor, on my paper, my background, and then I'll put this on top. This I did just the opposite. But with the napkin, it's much finer, much thinner. If you're working with really thin tissue paper or a napkin, something like this, don't put your glue to the back of that. Put it on your background. All right, let's go ahead and give that a go. And I also thought, well, these are so much fun. So let's go ahead and add some glitter and some fun things that way. So now you see I'm just feathering that out. And it really doesn't matter if I have like a bump, something like that. It's really okay because when you get it all blended in, you don't necessarily want it perfectly smooth. It gives it that fun texture to have a few little bumps and hiccups in there, if you know what I mean. Now, at this point, let me set my brush aside for just a minute. And I want to I typed on my typewriter. I moved my typewriter so it's close to my table here. And I'm having fun actually using it. I know. It's like, ooh. She types? She types? Yes, I do type. I used to be very good at it. Very fast. Deloy Tanner and I were always competing on the time tests, who was the fastest. And sometimes he would win, and sometimes I would win. And everybody else wanted to sit far apart from us because the return ding, every time the carriage returned, it made them nervous. And it made them slow down and make mistakes. So we took the tests in a whole different part of the room to make it more comfortable for those that were slow. Okay, see what I did? I just ripped that a little bit, and I, just inked around there just to make that stand out just a teeny bit. And then I'm also going to put it on some of this. What is this paper? I'm trying to think. It's can't remember what it's called. Now, if I think about it, I'll put it in the description below. But it's a thin paper, and it comes on a roll, and it comes in green, and it's just really handy. So, as you can see, I'm just dabbing this whole thing. That's why it's so fun here, because I'm using the Mod Podge as my glue on everything, and so that keeps it really simple. And then I just wipe it when I need to. Now I'll go ahead and rip that down, and we will. And this will just make a nice little addition. Okay, so this could go here, could go up here, over here, down here, right there. No, no, that does not look good. It needs to be offset somehow. So that's kind of cool. So I'm thinking here. Did you agree? Do you disagree? Let me know. But don't tell me you wanted it in the center, because I will just totally disagree with you on that one. All right, now I'm adding some more medium, and I am just kind of smushing, okay, to cover it. Smush, smush, smush. And now, and then I have some Recollections Glitz. This is Blank Rose. I bought it, I don't know where, when, but I had it. So I am just very, very lightly putting a little bit down here, just to give it a little bit of sparkle, guys. Because it's Christmas, we sparkle is good, just a little bit. But trust me, if you are not careful, your sparkle will go icky really fast. Can go icky really fast. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and put my paintbrush in my little cup of water here to keep it wet. I'm going to wipe this down to make sure it's all done. And as you can see, we are finished with this. Now this just has to dry. And you can use a heat gun, but it's still not going to, it's going to take a while to completely dry. So it's best to do this like in a 2-day kind of thing. Maybe make your bags do the Mod Podge one day and then the next day, or do one thing in the morning and then later in the day, do the other step. But we'll just set this aside, and through the magic of television, we'll bring out a dry one. And this, I like this. This says Silent Night, but looking at one with the green, see how I really think that's so much nicer. This is nice. This I really like. So these are just some fun tips for you. So now I'm going to show you how to glue it onto the card. And we'll put it in, and we'll decorate an envelope, and then we will be done. And then you must get yourself to a store and get some of these goodies. All right, where? I had some envelopes prepared. I did. I really, really did. I did see a putty head. Did any of you ever watch those cartoons? Huh. Well, I can't find it, but that's okay. I'm using, because of the nature of what you're putting in the bag, if you're doing it with the hot cocoa and or small little candy bars, you want a good glue. And so what I use is double-sided scrapbooking tape, a nice heavy. This is really sticky. Now, you can put it on the bag, or you can put it on the card, and what I've chosen to do is put it on the card. It's easier. I come in about a 1/2 inch on both sides, and then about 1/4 of an inch from the bottom and the top where I put my tape. So I'm just laying that down, and this is just, you know, eyeballing it. And I do 3 strips. Just like this. I still have to make some fudge tonight. So I've got some to take to my friend tomorrow and share with her Christmas. That's the only time I ever make fudge, is at Christmas time. And I have a list. Where's my bone folder? Oh, there it is. Of people that like my fudge that I make for at Christmas time. It's bad because it's really good. Oh, and I should never have it. Okay, see what I've done? And let me explain to you the reason you don't want, on a glassine bag like this, well, any bag that you're putting, even if you were gluing this, say this bag, into a journal, you don't want it to go to the edge. Come in here where this seam is. Come in about a 1/2 inch, 3/8 of an inch. Because if you come clear the edge, there's no give in the bag to open. And so you never want to go to the edge. Always come in with your glue or your tape line. And you probably already know that. And for those of you that are just joining me the first time, welcome, welcome. Glad to have you here. I hope you'll consider subscribing. And for all of you, if you enjoy this video, please hit the like button, and I would love to hear your comments. I do respond, and the hitting the button, the like button, it is a big help. Okay, see what I'm doing? I mean, see how easy peasy? Now, because I have given that a nice edge space, then I can fit my goodies in there. And let's do that. We went to Sam's Club and got ourselves a big bag. So I'm going to put some Kit Kats, and then I'm going to put a cocoa. So those fit like that. And what did I do with the cocoa? Here's one. So I'm going to have to fold this, and you just kind of play with it, or whatever it is, you know, that you're putting in there. You know, these would also be lots of fun in a stocking, or you can add, you know, put some money in there if that's your thing, or, you know, whatever. Okay, see how nice that is? Now we want to close the flap, and what I've been using is washi tape. So I'm going to go ahead and tear off a bit of that. And I have poinsettia washi tape, and here's some poinsettias. So let's go ahead and give that a whirl. We'll just put that down. Just like that. And we are ready for an envelope. Isn't that fun? And of course, I would recommend that you do your writing, any kind of writing you're going to do before you put the bag on. Okay? Now for the envelope. What I am doing with mine, and of course you decorate them however you like, but we'll bring this one back to show you. And I have because I have several more that I have to make. So I have gone ahead and inked around my edges. These are deckled. This is an old vintage ledger paper that I have. So I will Mod Podge that down, and I will put one of my music papers, and I have done all these, so I'm not going to do that. But you know what to do that way. And then I'm going to add just a little bit of some fun little embellishment here, and I'm going to call that good. All right, so let's go ahead, get this back out. Now here again, I'm going to go ahead and do the back of my paper because it's not super thin. If it's super fine, remember it will leak through and get on your freezer paper, and it can also curl an awful lot. And this might curl a little bit, but not as much as if it's really thin. Okay, so let's just put that down, smooth that out, wipe that. This just keeps my surface nice and makes it so I can work with this and get them all done. Okay, so we're ready to do the back of the music paper here. I love the old vintage look. But you know what? If that's not your thing, that's okay. And you don't have to edge around. That will save you some time by not doing that step. Okay? And you can do scrapbook paper. You can do, whatever. The sky's the limit. Okay, now here's the point where I'm going to add some of my little parts of the tissue paper, the Kleenex. Just add a little something. I had a couple of these that could work. Let's see, I think I will tear this apart. You know what? I maybe want this little small guy. I don't want it very much, very big. Now here again, I'm not gonna put my Mod Podge on the tissue. I'm putting it here on my envelope, and I'm just kind of guessing at how much I need, and then I'll just smooth that down. We'll add a little more so we can put, and I'll go ahead and Mod Podge the top of there. And now we're going to sprinkle some more of this glittery goodness. Just little bits here. And when this dries, you guys, unlike so many things with glitter, if you don't, put it too terribly heavy, it actually stays glittery. Okay, can you see that? Now this will be really nice. When it dries, it's going to look more like this. Isn't that fun? All right, you guys, that is it. I want you to go ahead and get some of these made. I'd love to see your work and hear what you're working on this week. And I just wanted something super fun and simple. I love you guys, and I hope that you're well and safe and that you're working on fun things for Christmas to do for others or just to treat yourself, whatever that might be. All right, until next video, have a fabulous day. Bye-bye now. Okay, I apologize. I promised you that I would show you how I take my napkins, prepare them. On a normal napkin, there are 3 layers. I'm getting a little bit of Scotch tape. This is Crafty Irina's idea. And she is back on YouTube. I'm so happy to see her. So you will definitely want to take a look at her YouTube channel. Okay. So this just makes it super simple. Sticky down. Okay. And then you just gently pull. And then I will show you how I do the feathering as well. But like I said, if you want to go to my other videos, I do a little more in-depth. Okay, so I'm just going to very quickly show you what I'm doing here. All right, I'm gonna bring my water over. And I'm just dipping my brush in just a little bit of water. Say I want this image, okay? I'm going to go around like this with my brush, and I'm going to gently rip it apart. Look at that. That is all you do. All right, guys. Bye-bye now.